Okay. I think if that is through Rashmi madam, that is okay for all of us. Okay. Don't worry about that material and everything. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please continue, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
And requesting all students, if you have any PPT, yesterday, if you get any PPT, then please send on the WhatsApp group. Otherwise, anybody, please create a group for us.
Okay. Coming to today's first class, don't worry. We'll go one by one. So due to that internet poor connectivity, I am unable to show the PPT today. I think so. So from next class onwards, I will show the PPT and I will share the PPT. Don't worry about that because today is first class and due to poor connectivity, I am not able to connect through my laptop. So please excuse. So coming to that topic, accounting. We all of us know that accounting, that is purely what we say, that is art of recording. Then we have to classify, then we may proceed to summarize in a significant manner in terms of money, transaction and events. And we know that is a part at least of a financial character. Then, and we have to interpret the results. What we know from this definition, this that is accounting, it is purely art of recording. We have to classify, we have to summarize in a significant manner every event, transactions that always express in monetary terms, and that must be in financial character, and we have to interpret the results. My dear friends, what we interpret, why we go for accounting, is accounting is necessary? All the questions we have to go through and we have to discuss here. So when we talk about that interpretation and when we talk about that accounting, world of accounting, so remember, we have to find out profit or loss, profit earned, loss incurred during a particular period. And second one is we have to know the financial position of the business, financial position of the business. So when you talk about these two terms, profit or loss, and financial health of the business, so we have to consider 5 elements. What are the 5 elements? Income, expenses, capital, assets and liabilities. By considering these Panchu Pandava 5 elements, we have to proceed, we have to record, we have to classify, we have to summarize, and each and every business transaction, not personal transaction of the owner, every business transaction and events that must be expressed in monetary terms, that express in monetary terms. So at last, we have to prepare financial statements. That is account and balance sheet, profit and loss account and balance sheet. So what we know, that is the definition given by AICPA, American Institute of Certified Public Accountant. American Institute of Certified Public Accountant. So once again I repeat, we have to classify, we have to summarize in a significant manner in terms of money, transactions and events, and that must be in financial character, and we have to interpret the results thereof. So my dear friend, interpretation is very important in accounting. In what way we have to interpret? All the transaction we have to record in chronological order. We have to classify the account. We have to consider that this Panchu Pandava, that income, expenses, capital and assets and liabilities. When you consider these 5 accounting, and that we have to classify, we have to summarize in sub-classification, and remember that each and every transaction must be in monetary value. Then we may record it in the books of account of the business. And at last we have to find out that interpretation, whether profit incurred or not. Profit incurred or not. Whether loss incurred, profit earned or not. Profit earned or not. Loss incurred. So when you talk about that accounting, this definition particularly given by AICPA, American Institute of Certified Public Accountant. So there are so many other definitions. Conceptually, we have to know, we have to record all the business transaction, we have to classify, we have to go through the various phases of accounting, and we have to interpret the results. What is the interpretation? Interpretation in the way of profit earned or loss incurred, and financial position by preparing the financial statement or final account. So we know accounting, that is the process. It is purely a process. We have to identify, we have to measure, we have to communicate to the users of accounting, we have to measure in monetary terms, and we have to identify whether that transaction is your business transaction or owner's personal transaction. Because never we record that proprietors or owners' personal transaction in the books. Otherwise, if business does not allow. So accounting permit that informed judgment and decision. And always this accounting information used by that users. Who are the users? Question may arise. So we know that is internal users and external users. That government, trade unions, employees, suppliers, bankers. So all are interested to know your performance, your financial performance, whether you are going through, you are satisfied with your that investor, and whether you expand your business or not. So what we know, that is once again, that is Accounting Principles Board, that is highest body. According to that APB, it is purely activity. Accounting is purely activities. It provides quantitative information. And remember, my dear friends, that is purely financial in nature. So it is useful in making economic decision. And what we have to do, we have to always go through these phases of accounting. We never ignore the phases of accounting. And when we talk about that, we have to go through the accounting phases. We have to know that accounting is a service activities. It purely provides quantitative financial information. It helps in taking various types of decision, that by using and deployment of resources. So what we know, that is, it is purely analytical discipline. It is purely descriptive. Remember, my dear friends, it measures, classify, summarize financial data relating to your business. You always act as business, owner of the business, proprietor of the business. So it is purely an information system. It collects the information, it communicates the information about each and every financial activity to its users, because users of accounting information, that is very important. Who are the users? Employees, trade unions, government, suppliers, bankers, investors, all are users of your accounting information. So my dear friends, we all of us know that is accounting is an information system. Why you say that accounting is an information system? We know that system that is defined as set of elements that operate together in order to attain an objective goal. So it is a system, information system, that we know there are three activities. What are the activities? That is input, that we have to process the input, then at last we got the result, that is output. So remember, accounting that comprises a series of linked activities. So these accounting activities from a progress of various steps that begin with observing, then we have to collect the information, we have to record the information, we have to analyze the information, and finally you have to communicate information to users. So my dear friends, what we say when you talk about that, what is accounting? As a layman, we have no idea. So remember, accounting is the process that involves the accumulation, analysis, measurement, interpretation, classification, and summarization of the results of each of the business transaction. Remember, you have to prepare your books of account. You have to record all the business transaction in the books of account of your business. You have to summarize the results of each of the business transaction. You have to find out whether the transaction is cash transaction or credit transaction, whether the transaction that relates to income or expenses, and whether the transaction that is purely relates to assets or liabilities. These are the 5 elements. So remember, all the business transaction, when we accumulate, when we analyze, when we measure and interpret, we have to classify and we have to summarize. So that affected the entity during the particular financial year. So my dear friends, when we talk about accounting is an information system, we all of us know that accounting links information source, or we say transmitter. Who is the transmitter? Accountant. And when we talk about that financial statement or final accounts, that is a channel of communication. That is a channel of communication. And we know that set of receivers are there. Who are the set of receivers? Purely external users. So we know accounting is an information system. Internal users are there, external users are there, decision makers are there. So business activities, so all the business activities and business transactions that must be measured, and that must be prepared and storage. That is processing of data. We have to record the data, we have to process the data, we have to communicate the data. That is information, financial information. All the business activities and business transactions are recorded. All the transactions that must be measured. And when we talk about processing of data, that we have to prepare and storage the data. And at last, that is who are the decision maker, that in each and every business unit, we have to communicate them regarding financial statement, regarding profit and loss, regarding your solvency position, regarding your debt equity ratio, everything. That is other statements and report that is highly essential for the management, for the decision makers. They needs information, financial information, and we have to communicate information to decision makers about the profit or loss, about the financial position as on particular date. So friends, what we got after 10 to 15 minutes, accounting is the art of recording, classifying, summarizing in a significant manner, expressed in terms of money, transactions, and events, and interpret the results thereof. So remember, when we talk about that accounting, we never ignore the basis of accounting. Basis of accounting, that is bookkeeping. What is that bookkeeping? That is the recording phase of an accounting system. Recording phase of an accounting system. So it is the basis of accounting. Bookkeeping is the basis of accounting. The persons responsible for bookkeeping are called bookkeeper. So bookkeeping does not require any special skill and knowledge, and personal judgment of the bookkeeper is not required.
What is the meaning of bookkeeping?
Hello?
Sir, can you please repeat what is the meaning of bookkeeping?
Yes, that is the basis of accounting. Never we ignore that. So it is purely the recording phase of an accounting system. It is purely a recording phase. Bookkeeping is the basis of accounting.
Sir, what do
And
you mean recording phase? Actually, what is the meaning of the recording phase? Which phase is called the recording phase? May we know?
Madam, टिके wait करंतु, हैला? One by one चलला परे. बुझिले कि
Okay,
मु
sir.
PPT
Okay,
share
sir.
करिबी,
Okay.
PPT देखिबे, पढ़िबे, then you ask question. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Last 5 to 6 minutes I will give for question. Don't worry. Okay? Because
sir.
today I am unable to show the PPT due to low network in my area. Okay? So from
Okay,
next
sir,
class
no
I'll
problem.
show the PPT. So don't
Sir,
worry.
what
I'll
is the
provide the
difference
PPT
between
in your group. ମୁଁ
Sir, what
ଭାବୁଛି
is
ବୋଧେ ଗ୍ରୁପ ତିଆରି ଚାଲିଛି, ତ ମତେ ବି ଆପଣ ଏଣ୍ଟ୍ରି କରିପାରିବେ. My number is 9861382537. Once again, 98613 98613 82537.
Sir, what is the
Kindly
difference
add my
between
number in your group. That is request from my side.
Sir,
sir,
what is the
sir,
difference?
ଏଇଟା ଆପଣ ଲିଙ୍କ ରେ ଟୋଟାଲ କ୍ଲାସ ସରିଲା ପରେ ସେୟାର କରିବେ ନା, ତେଣୁ ଇଣ୍ଡିଭିଜୁଆଲ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଲିଙ୍କ କଣ ଦରକାର ହବ?
ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି ଇଣ୍ଡିଭିଜୁଆଲ ଗ୍ରୁପ ନେ ଆପଣ ମାନେ ମୋବାଇଲ ନମ୍ବର ଦଉଛନ୍ତି, ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି ବୋଧେ ଗ୍ରୁପ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର, ଯୋଉଥିରେ କି ଗୋଟେ ମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ଫେଟାଲ ଯାଇପାରିବ, ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି।
ସେଟା ବେଟର ହବ ଆପଣ ଯଦି ସେୟାର କରିଦେବେ ଆମର ଏଇ ଗ୍ରୁପ ରେ, ଯୋଉ ଗ୍ରୁପ କ୍ରିଏଟ ହେଇଛି ବାଇ ଡିଡିସି, ଦ୍ୟାଟ ୱିଲ ବି ବେଟର।
ହଁ ଭାଇ,
Okay,
but
okay.
ସେ
So
group
there
ରେ
is no
ଆମେ
need to give, okay, just you listen, there is no need to give your mobile number in here. Okay?
no,
Yes, sir.
it's needed,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
It's
sir.
needed. If we can't know each other, then how we will attend the exam?
Okay, that is
how
your
phone
decision.
you will know each other, that is your personal things if you know, but if you
If
share in a
yes,
group, that
brother.
is
If you
DDC, that will be better.
interested, then if you interested, then only you share your number. Otherwise, nobody is forcing you, right?
No, I
Okay,
am not
okay.
forcing. I am telling that sir is
ମୁଁ କଣ
giving
କହୁଛି
his
ଭାଇ,
number. That's why
ଯଦି
I am
ଆମେ
telling.
ଯଦି ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ କଣ କହୁଛି, ଯଦି ଆମେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଯଦି ଚିହ୍ନି ପାରିବାନି ତ ଏକ୍ଜାମ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଆମେ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର କେମିତି ହେବା? ମୋର ବି କଣ ଦରକାର ଥିବ କି ଭାଇ ଏ ପିପିଟି ଟା ସେଣ୍ଡ କର, ଏ କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଟା ଦରକାର, ଏଟା ଆନ୍ସର ଟା ସେଣ୍ଡ କର। ତ ଆମେ ଯଦି ନିଜର ଭିତରେ ଯଦି ବନ୍ଧୁତା ରଖିବାନି ତ ଆମେ
ଠିକ
ଏକ୍ଜାମ ପାଇଁ
ଅଛି, ଠିକ
ପ୍ରିପେୟାର
ଅଛି,
କେମିତି ହବ?
ଠିକ ଅଛି,
ସବୁ ଜିନିଷର
we'll
ଗୁଡ୍
discuss.
ଆଣ୍ଡ ବ୍ୟାଡ୍ ଥାଉଛି ନା।
ହଉ ଠିକ ଅଛି, ଠିକ ଅଛି, ଠିକ ଅଛି।
Okay, okay,
ନାଇଁ
we'll
ମୁଁ
discuss.
ସାର୍ ଙ୍କୁ କହୁଛି, ସାର୍ ଏଟା ଯଦି ଗ୍ରୁପ ରେ ଛାଡିବେ ନା
Sir, please mute
ପର୍ସନାଲ
all.
ଗ୍ରୁପ ରେ
ଠିକ
ଛାଡିବେ?
ଅଛି,
ଛାଡୁନାହାନ୍ତି ନା,
don't worry,
କାଲି
Please mute
କାଲି
all.
ତ ଗ୍ରୁପ ରେ ଛାଡିଲେନି ନା, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ତ ଆଜି ଗ୍ରୁପ କ୍ରିଏଟ କରାହଉଛି ନା ଭାଇ।
don't worry, don't worry. Okay,
ଓକେ।
we all are friends, don't worry.
Sir,
ଆଉ
ଗୋଟେ
ଥରେ number ଟା ଟିକେ
question
କହିବେ
ଅଛି।
କି?
Sir, ଗୋଟେ question ଅଛି। Sir, books of account ଆଉ book keeping ଭିତରେ
1 minute,
difference କଣ?
1 minute. Okay, either you send through the chat, I will give the answer. Last 5 to 6 minutes, always we'll go for question answer session. Okay, if not possible, then very next class I will discuss 5 to 6 minutes, then we'll start. Okay,
ସାର୍ ଆଉ ଥରେ number ଟା ଟିକେ କହିବେ କି?
Debbie, don't worry. So we'll proceed. So bookkeeping, my dear friend, bookkeeping, that is the basis of accounting. That is the recording phase of an accounting system. So persons responsible for bookkeeping are called bookkeeper. It does not require any special skill or knowledge. Personal judgment of the bookkeeper, that is not required. Financial statements, when you prepare financial statements, that is not prepared from bookkeeping records. It does not give the complete picture of the financial condition of the business unit. Only your duty is to go through the transaction, prepare the vouchers, and in chronological order, you have to keep it. So, bookkeeping never does not help in complying with legal formalities. And bookkeeping does not provide any information for taking managerial decision. And we know that is bookkeeping has no branches. So my dear friends, it is purely a recording phase. Person responsible, he or she is known as bookkeeper. Bookkeeping is the basis of accounting. Special skill or knowledge is not required. Personal judgment of the bookkeeper, that is not required. Financial statements are not prepared. It never gives the complete picture of the financial health of the business. Never it helps in complying with legal formalities. Never we take managerial decision and have no branches. But never we ignore bookkeeping. That is the basis of accounting. So, what are the objectives of bookkeeping? When you say that is the basis of accounting, it is purely a permanent record of each business transaction. It shows the financial effect of the business. And we have to ascertain the combined impact of all the business transactions made during an accounting period. So, We have discussed about that bookkeeping. Then second one is accounting. What is that accounting? It is purely a summarizing phase. Accounting is the summarizing phase of an accounting system. So we all of us know that is bookkeeping is the recording phase. Bookkeeping is the recording phase. So the basis for business language. Accounting is the basis for business language. Language of business, that accounting. So when you talk about that persons who are responsible for accounting are called accountant. And special skill and knowledge is highly essential as far as accounting is concerned. Personal judgment of the accountant is very essential. And remember, financial statements are prepared from accounting records. It gives the complete picture of the financial health of the business unit. And when you talk about legal formalities can be complied with the help of accounting. And accounting provides information for taking managerial decision. Accounting having several branches: financial accounting, cost accounting, and management accounting. So, my dear friends, what is the relationship between bookkeeping and accounting? Remember, the process of accounting starts where the process of bookkeeping ends. The process of accounting starts, or we say begins, where the process of bookkeeping ends. That is the relationship between bookkeeping and accounting. So, what are the branches of accounting? We know that is financial accounting, cost accounting, and management accounting. So, what is that financial accounting? These are the branches of accounting: financial accounting, cost accounting, management accounting. Remember, financial accounting provides information to external users. It is purely subject to a definite accounting methods. What is that? That is known as double entry system. Double entry system. So it is subject to, accounting is subject to GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP, GAAP. It is purely subject to GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. So we have to go through the double entry system. We have to go through the various principles, generally accepted accounting principles. So remember, in financial accounting, we have to use money as a measurement unit for each and every business transaction. And we know that we have to prepare the statements, financial statements, and various reports, and that are prepared for a definite period, that is for quarterly or half yearly. And we have to compare to previous year, figure, and we may compare with other similar organization. So it is purely a general purpose report. It emphasizes the past, and accounting is required by law. It focuses on division, it focuses on product, it focuses on departments, it focuses on parts. And it's generally, accounting generally stands on its own, because principles are there, concepts are there, conventions are there, and laws are there, rules and regulations are there, GAAP We have to go through that. So it concentrate accounting always, financial accounting always concentrate on generating accurate and timely data. So what about that cost accounting? Remember, there are three purposes. One is cost ascertainment, second one is cost control, third one is decision making. We have to take decision whether we produce the product or we purchase the product and sell it. So cost accounting predominantly for management, and that is purely for internal use. Internal use. We have to find out the selling price of the product. And cost accounting always focus on units, segments, responsibility center. Responsibility center. So cost accounting always emphasis on timeliness and promptitude. It is mandatory in case of all types of undertaking. And we know cost accounting is not subject to GAAP, generally accepted accounting principle. That cost accounting record and rules are there. We have to go through that. And it is purely a composition and control of cost. That we know, variable cost, fixed cost. It is purely a composition of cost. So cost accounts disclose profit or loss of each product, each process, each job. So it is concerned with the composition and control of cost. So what we know, one is financial accounting, second one is cost accounting, third one is management accounting. What is the role and responsibilities of management accountant? Remember, he or she collect the information from accountant, that is financial statement, from cost accountant, that is cost statement, and apply the various tools and techniques of management accounting. There are so many tools and techniques as per the need, as per the size of your companies. You have to go through that as per your requirement, business requirement. You have to analyze, apply the various tools and techniques, and analyze and prepare the reports. That is purely for internal purpose. And when you prepare the report, you have to submit it to the management, because we all of us know that management will take decision, not cost accountant, not financial, that accountant. So your duty is to prepare the reports, various types of reports as per need of the business. You have to go through, apply the tools and techniques in these two data, two information received from accountant and cost accountant, and prepare the report, discuss with the person concerned with the department. These are the pros and cons of your department, of your business unit, of your branch, and you prepare the report. When you apply the various tools and techniques and prepare the report, your duty is to that submit the report to the management, because management will take decision. Management will take decision whether produce the product or shut down the product, whether business try to expand or take over any business, whatever may be the decision, where to purchase the product, material, how many labor we have to engage, any type of decision by going through your report, that or whether we expand the business or not, any type of decision. What is our solvency position? What is our liquidity position? Because your duty is to prepare the report by applying various tools and techniques, ratio analysis, trend analysis, inter-firm comparison, intra-firm comparison. So all the tools and techniques you have to apply. So my dear friends, when you talk about these are the three branches of accounting. What is financial accounting? It deals with preparation of trial balance, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. It always shows the amount of profit earned or loss incurred during a particular financial year, during a particular period. So what is that financial year? It starts from 1st April and ends with consecutive 31st March. That is financial year. So what about cost accounting? Cost accounting that shows classification, analysis of cost on the basis of function, on the basis of process, on the basis of products. And remember, my dear friends, cost accounting deals with application of managerial economic concept for decision making. Then coming to management accounting, it deals with the process of data that is generated in financial accounting and cost accounting for managerial decision making. You have to take decision. Management will take decision. Who will take decision? Management will take decision. So your duty is to provide and prepare the report. So financial accounting, second branch is cost accounting, third one is management accounting. So what are the elements of accounting? Remember that
कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग
elements.
थोड़ा सा सर कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग थोड़ा सा फिर से बोल देंगे क्या?
Okay. So coming to these three branches of accounting, remember that serves three purposes: cost ascertainment, cost control, and decision making. Whether you produce the product or not, whether you purchase the product and sell it, whether you expand the business, if you purchase the material from X, whether that is cost effectiveness or not for your organization, and you have to take decision. So cost ascertainment, cost control, and decision making, that are the three purpose of cost accounting. It is purely internal use, predominantly for management. And remember, cost accounting always focus on segment. Suppose you are producing 5 products. So accordingly, you have to prepare each product profit or loss through cost statement, cost sheet. So it's for that reason it focus on segment, it focus on units, it focus on responsibility center. Suppose you are producing 5 products. So in each production unit, one that production manager is responsible for that product, that unit. So he is the responsible, that unit is responsibility center. Person engaged that is responsible for that production of that unit. So cost accounting, that is not mandatory in the case of all types of undertaking, and it is not subject to GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. We have to go through that cost accounting record and rules. And remember, cost accounting is concerned with the composition and control of cost. We have to control the cost, whether that is variable cost, and we have to control that cost. Because we know that fixed cost is fixed in nature. So remember that cost accounting disclose profit or loss of each product. 5 production unit, we are producing 5 product. We have to find out each individual that product's profit or loss. Similarly, it disclose profit or loss of each process, each job. It is concerned with the composition and control of cost. So, my dear friends, these are the 3 branches. Accounting, financial accounting, it deals with the preparation of trial balance, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Financial accounting that shows the amount of profit earned or loss incurred during a particular financial year. What about cost accounting? Cost accounting shows classification and analysis of cost on the basis of function, process, product. And remember, cost accounting deals with application of managerial economic concept for decision making, because you have to take decision whether you produce or you stop the production, whether you continue the production or not, whether you purchase the material from X or Y, how many labor you have to engage. Instead of engaging 5 to 6 labor, you may take decision to engage 2 labor. So that is purely your decision. So management accounting, when you talk about management accounting, it deals with the process of data that is generated in financial accounting and cost accounting for managerial decision making. So coming to elements of accounting, we know that elements of accounting that directly related to the measurement of financial position, preparation of balance sheet, that is assets, liabilities, and equity. So what are the elements that directly related to the measurement of performance in the profit and loss account? Remember, one is income, other is expenses. So elements
Sir, just
directly
one
related to
to
the measurement of financial position, that is for the preparation of balance sheet. These are the 3 elements. One is assets, liabilities, and equity. Similarly, what are the elements that directly relate to the measurement of performance in the profit and loss account? One is income, second one is expenses. So one is asset, one is liabilities, one is equity, then next one is, that is income, then expenses. These are the 5 elements. 5 elements. So what is that income? Income is increase in economic benefits during the particular accounting period in the form of inflows of assets or decrease of liabilities that result in increase in equity other than those relating to contribution from equity participant.
What
So
is
it
equity?
is okay. Just has to listen and note down the question, your question. Then we'll discuss. Last 5 minutes, another 1 minute. Please bear with me. So it is increase in economic benefits. Then what about expenses? That decrease in benefits during the accounting period, that is in form of the outflow that result in decrease in benefits during the particular accounting period. So what is that asset? What is that liabilities? What is equity? Remember, equity is the residual interest in the assets of the business unit after deduction of its liabilities. It is purely a residual interest in the assets of the business unit after deducting its liabilities. So what is that liability? That is purely an obligation that arise from past events that expected to result in an outflow from the business. And what is that assets? It is a measurement controlled by the business unit and from which that future economic benefits are expected. We have to use that particular asset. We have to generate revenues. Suppose vehicle, building. So we have to use that asset. We have to generate revenues for the business. So future economic benefits are expected to flow to the business unit, and it is purely a measurement controlled by the business unit. And when you say liabilities, it is an obligation toward the business by the insider or outsider. Who are the insider? Who are the outsider? Owner is purely insider. He or she started business by engaging some fund, that is capital, in shape of capital. That is purely owner's contribution. He or she may oblige toward the business. For that reason, he or she started business. Inclination toward the business, interest toward the business. So he or she invest 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 30 lakh as far as his or her capital. That is owner's contribution. Insider of the business. Outsider, bankers, suppliers, they are outsider. Supply the material in time. What is the intention? To receive, get back the monetary value in time. Bankers provide loans to your business because you are continuing with the profit. Your business is expanding. So bankers are interested to your business. So my dear friends, these are the today's discussion. Any question you may ask one by one.
Yes, sir. Just I want to know one thing. See, on the quarter on year, the company is providing the financial results. So in this segment, what we are just able to understand or see, the main point is thing that first of all, you will see the net operating margin, cash flow, and these all.
Okay. What is
EBITDA,
your
equity,
question?
so this is the concern. So these are the pertaining with the financial management, sir. I think so.
Yes.
And next part, sir, the cost is not getting reviewed on that particular result. And second part is we will able to see what kind of management taken decision, the expansion of projects, and these are coming on the management. What,
That is
sir?
purely management decision.
Okay. So this is the only. But sir, cost, whatever you told, it is
What
only
is
for.
your duty? Your duty is to find out the cost of the product.
Okay.
You have to purchase that material. You have to engage the labor. You have to do other expenses, and you that produce the product.
Okay. So with
Suppose
help of
product is with the
with
help
help
of, you
of.
have to prepare the cost sheet. You have to prepare the cost statement. We have to concerned with the direct and indirect material. We have to concerned with direct labor and indirect labor, and we have to concerned with other overheads. And by considering all that, we have to find out the cost of the product, ascertainment of the cost. That is the first and foremost objective of cost accounting. You have to ascertain the cost. Then second one is, when you ascertain the cost, that is cost of the product is 10 rupees or 100 rupees, whatever may be. Then you have to fix the selling price. Never you sell the below the cost. बुझिले कि आपण तो दातव्य चिकित्सालय नुहंती, आपण प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस करिवे, खर्च करिवे 100 टंका रे, खर्च करिवे आपण 80 टंका रे बिकिवे कि
No. No,
okay
sir.
next question okay very next question
Hello.
हाँ
Hello.
हाँ you ask the question
Sir, I just want to know what is the role of gap and double entry bookkeeping in financial
okay
accounting.
okay there are two aspects one is two things double entry system is separate generally accepted accounting principle is separate okay gap generally accounting accepted accounting principle that is gap okay so
Okay.
single entry system and double entry system is there we have to discuss that in very next class okay so each and that we have to go through that preparation of financial statement according to gap. Never you ignore that gap.
Okay.
Sir, why fiscal year or calendar year and financial year are not the same?
Very next question. ଆଉ କିଏ
Hello.
ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି କିଛି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ପଚାରିବାକୁ?
हाँ
Yes.
सर सर सिंपल क्वेश्चन सर है सर अपन जो
हाँ।
कहले इक्विटी से कहले रेसिडुअल इंटरेस्ट सर सर
କଣ କହିଲେ ଆଉ ଥରେ?
सर जो इक्विटी अपन जो कहले इक्विटी जे रेसिडुअल इंटरेस्ट ऑफ व्हिच पार्ट
ଆପଣ
ऑफ द
ଆପଣ
बिजनेस
ଆପଣ ହଁ ଠିକ ଅଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଇଚ୍ଛା ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ବିଜନେସ କରିବାକୁ ବୁଝିଲେ କି
ଆଜ୍ଞା सर सर
ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଫର୍ଣ୍ଣିଚର ବିଜନେସ କରିବାକୁ ଅଛି ହେଲା
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ବାଧ୍ୟ କରିବେ ନାହିଁ ଫର୍ଣ୍ଣିଚର ବିଜନେସ କର ନା ହେଲା ତୁ ଯା ଗୋଲ୍ଡ ବିକିବୁ ଯିବେ କି ଆପଣ
ନାଇଁ
ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ଅଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ଅଛି ଟୁ ଡୁ ଦ ବିଜନେସ ଇନ ଫର୍ଣ୍ଣିଚର ବୁଝିଲେ କି ମୁଁ କାହିଁକି
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ବିଜନେସ
sir.
କରିବି ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ ମାଇ ଇଣ୍ଟେନସନ
प्रॉफिट में सर
प्रॉफिट करी बोली बिजनेस करूची
आଜ୍ଞା
मार्केट
sir.
रे ना करी गुडविल तैयारी करी मु गोटे भलो बिजनेसमैन हाँ ना नहीं
आଜ୍ଞା sir. आଜ୍ଞା sir.
अच्छा तो आपण कौन करिवे किछि पैसा इन्वेस्ट करिवे
राइट सर
तो किछि पैसा इन्वेस्ट करिवे तापरे किछि एसेट करिवे तो जो
Right.
एसेट टा करिवे ता दुरु आपण प्रोडक्ट टा प्रोड्यूस करिवे
हाँ
तो
निश्चित
आपण
sir.
इंटरेस्ट कोथर रहिला बाय यूजिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर एसेट and by using your fund if your interest is to expand the business at that point of time you have to go for loan है ना नहीं
Yes sir.
आपण
Yes
बैंक
sir.
को लोन गले तो जेतेबेले बैंक को लोन गले आपण लोन रिपेमेंट करिवे ना
Yes, sir.
रिपेमेंट करिवेनी
ना करिब सर आଜ୍ଞा
रिपेमेंट काहे करिवे you have to create that image in the market or from any banker side all bankers may interested to know your business କାହିଁକି ନା ସେମାନେ ଲୋନ ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ କରିବେ ଆପଣ ଲୋନ ନେଲେ ବିଜନେସ ଏକ୍ସପାଣ୍ଡ କରିପାରିବେ ଆପଣ 10 ଲକ୍ଷ ଦେଇ ବିଜନେସ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କରିଛନ୍ତି ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କରୁ ଆଣିଲେ 20 ଲକ୍ଷ ହଁ ତ ଆପଣ ବିଜନେସ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କଲେ ଇମିଡିଏଟ ଆପଣ ସୁଝିଲେ तो नेक्स्ट टाइम आपण सीसी लिमिट बढ़ाई पारिबे आपण बैंक रो आहुरी 30 लाख लोन दबो बैंक देखुची आपण बिजनेस एक्सपांड करूची तो दैट इज द रेसिडुअल इंटरेस्ट आपण इंटरेस्ट नथिले आपण बिजनेस करिवेनी आपण गोटे इंटरेस्ट अछि इंक्लिनेशन टुवर्ड द बिजनेस टू डू दैट बिजनेस by using the asset by that paying the liabilities outside liabilities okay
Yes,
that is
sir.
equity any other question last question
Hello,
Sir,
sir.
keeping is a
Account
part
is
of
trial
accounting
balance.
or it's separate?
Oh, yes business and owner both are separate
No,
kuhuntu.
sir. Bookkeeping and accounting both are separate or is part of
Yes,
accounting?
bookkeeping is the basis of accounting. When the process of bookkeeping ends, the process of accounting starts.
Account is started.
That means that one, sir, journal
First
entry.
is bookkeeping, then accounting.
Then accounting.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, what is trial balance?
Trial balance. Madam, just wait. आमे आरंभ करछे आपण पॉइंट नोट डाउन करंतु हैला डोंट वरी
Sir, Can we
We'll discuss. Trial balance is a statement. Okay. Trial balance is a statement. Statement of assets, liabilities, income, expenses and capital. ପାଞ୍ଚଟା element ତାର sub heading ନେଇକି ଆମେ trial balance ତିଆରି କରୁଛେ. Okay. That is the phase of accounting. Never we ignore that. Okay. Thank you all.
Can be called as a bookkeeping.
Once again.
Journal entry, can we call that bookkeeping?
Journal is the phase. Okay. First you prepare the business document. You have to identify the business transaction. Okay. Identify the business transaction. Then second step, you have to prepare the business documents. Then third one is a journal. That is the journal. That is the book of original entry, book of prime entry. All the business transactions are recorded in that books of account.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you all.
Okay,
don't worry, we'll provide the notes through Rasmi madam. Don't worry, and we'll discuss in next class.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any doubt, you are always welcome to ask. But please, from my side, this is my honest request. We will discuss last 5 to 6 minutes or 10 minutes. Any doubt?
Fine, sir. Sir, next time ଟିକେ PPT ରେ presentation ଦେଇକି ପଢେଇଲେ
Pokka. Don't worry. That is my duty.
Thank you, sir.
Note
sir, have a good day.
provide ହେଇପାରିବ ସେଇ
Material ତ ଦେଇଦେବି ବ୍ୟସ୍ତ ନାହିଁ.
ଆଜ୍ଞା.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Am I audible, please?
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Okay. So this PPT is visible?
Yes, sir. Clearly visible.
Okay. Thank you so much. So let us start.
Sir, yesterday जो पढ़ाई थिला तारो PPT share ହେଇନି.
Okay, that PPT. Actually, this is the same PPT. Okay. Actually,
ଟିକେ କଣ ପଠେଇଲେ ଆମେ ଟିକେ ତାକୁ ରିଭ୍ୟୁ କରନ୍ତୁ ଯଦି କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଥାନ୍ତା ଏଇ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ରେ ବି ସେ
okay.
PPT sir ଟିକେ ଯଦି ପଠାନ୍ତୁ ତ ଭଲ ହୁଅନ୍ତା sir actually କିଛି
Okay,
group ରେ
So whenever I am sharing this while taking the class, you cannot take it out.
नहीं PPT ଟା ତ ନେଇ ହବନି ନା. ଆପଣ ଯଦି ନୋଟ୍ ହିସାବରେ ପଠାନ୍ତେ ବି after class that will be better also. उसको थोड़ा ग्रुप तो जाएगी हमें सेव कर रखिए पुणी जेतरे डाउट हो पचारिबो कि एग्जाम ପାଇଁ भी प्रिपेयर ହେଇ ପାରିବ।
Okay. So the material is not with you.
नहीं मटेरियल अच्छी
अच्छा
मटेरियल
Sir,
मोर जो
but
सिलेबस तो बुक तो
Yeah.
बुक अच्छी बुक सर
हाँ
अच्छी बट
अच्छी
जो
अच्छी
पीपीटी बनेइछन्ती किछि शॉर्ट
अच्छा
फंक्शन रे ना एति
तेबे आपण माने चाहुचंती कि पीपीटी टा आपनको पठाया पाई ओके
यस यस
हाँ
यस
जो
तो
क्लास ହେଲା ପରେ जो जो डेली ର क्लास ଟା ଯଦି ପଠେଇ
शॉर्ट
ଦିଅନ୍ତେ
ओके
तो
तो
देले हम इजी वांदा ये कर दें
sure. After the conclusion of this class, today I will send it. Actually, you do one thing. You note my number, so that any one of you, if you please send me your email ID, then I can mail it to you. Because I am not in the group. Okay.
यस
अच्छा
ग्रुप जेहेतु नाही तेणुकरी मते प्रोब्लेम हम आपण मानक पोटे शेयर करिया पई सो दैट मते आपण मानक भितरु मोर टेलीफोन नंबर टा रखंतु माने मोबाइल नंबर टा
यस
इट इज 9938076764
76
76
डबल नाइन
9938076764
जीरो
ओके तो एई नंबर रे मते जदी आपण
Repeat, sir.
9938076764 ओके सो ए नंबर मते जदी आपण गोटे जदी व्हाट्सएप रे भी जदी हाय मेसेज टा पठे देबे देन आई कैन सेंड यू इट मो पठे दी पारी सो दैट
आउटर ଟିକେ ସାର୍ ନମ୍ବର ଟା କହିବେ ସାର୍
9938076764
ठीक है धन्यवाद
ओके तेबे वर्तमान आमे लास्ट क्लास रे जहाँ डिस्कशन करथिले ता आगु को टिके जुआ काहे कि ना आपण मानकर सिलेबस टिके भास्ट अछि एवं वी हैव टू कवर इट विद इन द लिमिटेड टाइम तेबे आगु को जुआ देखंतु जेमति आमे डिस्कशन करथिले लास्ट क्लास रे आमे डिस्कशन करथिले जे व्हाट आर द एसेंशियल एलिमेंट्स ऑफ अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट माने गोटे एग्रीमेंट केतरा एसेंशियल एलिमेंट को satisfy करि सारला पर ही कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हुए otherwise it cannot be a contract, it will remain as only agreement. Okay. So ता भितरे आमे किछटा पॉइंट डिस्कशन करथिले फर्स्ट पॉइंट आमे डिस्कशन करथिले आई थिंक प्रॉपर ऑफर एंड इट्स एक्सेप्टेंस एंड द सेकंड पॉइंट आमे डिस्कशन करथिले इंटेंशन टू क्रिएट लीगल रिलेशनशिप थर्ड पॉइंट भी डिस्कशन करथिले लॉफुल कंसीडरेशन आई थिंक ना करिने କରି ସାରିଛେ lawful consideration discussion କରି ସାରିଛେ then capacity of parties ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମେ discussion କରି ସାରିଥିଲେ next होची ଆମେ discussion କରିବା free consent माने गोटे satisfy କରିବା ପାଇଁ गोटे agreement जदी जेतेबेले contract होबा ପାଇଁ हमर केतरा condition दरकार सेही condition गुडाक जदी satisfy हबो then the agreement will be termed as a contract otherwise it will remain only as a agreement तबे कौन कौन कंडीशन आमे डिस्कशन करिथिले आमे जो कंडीशन गुडी के डिस्कशन करथिले फर्स्ट कंडीशन थिला ऑफर एंड एक्सेप्टेंस माने जो ऑफर आउ तार एक्सेप्टेंस हो इट शुड बी लॉफुल एंड इट शुड बी प्रॉपर ओके एंड सेकंड पॉइंट थिला इंटेंशन टू क्रिएट लीगल रिलेशनशिप माने दैट मींस द पार्टीज हु आर एंटरिंग इनटू द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मस्ट हैव अ इंटेंशन टू क्रिएट लीगल रिलेशनशिप so if they have any other intention or they have intention to create any illegal relationship then the agreement will not satisfy the essential conditions so that it will not be a contract. Another one is your lawful consideration. Lawful consideration means what I told that whenever we are entering, that means both the parties are entering into contract, they have their expectations. And what is the expectation of the party from the contract? That is called consideration. For example, if I wanted to sell my old car to you for 2 lakh rupees, then 2 lakh rupees is my consideration and my old car is your consideration. Able to understand? So this consideration, it should be lawful. Okay, that means it should not also be illegal. Suppose I have a consideration, that means I wanted to sell my old car to you for AK-47, And AK-47 is is not allowed to be kept with normal human beings without any proper license for arms and ammunition. So that is unlawful. That is why the consideration should be lawful. Suppose I wanted to give you 5 lakh if you will kill one of my friend, then that is also not lawful. The consideration, that is a consideration, but this consideration is not lawful. Okay. For satisfaction of these essential conditions, the consideration must be lawful. Okay, able to follow? Next point I had discussed, that is capacity of party to the contract. That means whoever the parties enter into contract, they must be capable of entering into contract. So when we understand that parties are not capable of entering into a contract, if either they are minor, if they are of unsound mind, and if they are declared as disqualified from contracting by any law for the time being. Okay. Next one is your pre-consent. Pre-consent means whenever the party to the contract, they have given their consent. That means whenever you are putting your signature in a paper, in an agreement, whether your consent was free at that time or not, that is very important. That means for the it is one essential condition, or it is one essential element of law of a contract, that in order to make an agreement a contract, pre-consent is must. So the question is that what are the situations when the consent to the contract is not free? That means there are a few situations. These few situations are discussed under section 14. That these situations, in these situations particularly, the court of law, they will expect or they will predict that the consent of the parties to the contract is not free. So what are these situations? First situation is coercion. First situation is a coercion. Second situation is your undue influence. Third situation is fraud. Fourth situation is a misrepresentation. And last situation is a mistake. That means these are the 5 situations: coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, and mistake. So if these situations will be there, then it will be assumed by the court of law that the consent of the parties to the contract is not free. Okay, this has been described according to section 14 of Indian Contract Act. Is that clear?
Sir, এটা কোন কইলে ফার্স্ট এটা ভেরিয়েশন, সেকেন্ড অনডিউ, থার্ড ফ্রড, ফোর্থ
Second one undue influence, third is fraud, fourth one is misrepresentation, and the last one is mistake.
Mistake.
Yes. Okay, that means if the parties to the contract, they have not, while entering into the contract, their consent is not affected by all this, then the consent to the contract is free. Okay, and if all these situations arise, then the consent of the party is not free. And in these situations particularly, the agreement cannot be converted into contract. If there will be any coercion, if there will be any undue influence, if there will be fraud, or if there will be misrepresentation or mistake, in these situations particularly, the contract, in this contract, the consent of the party is not free. Okay, what are all these points that I will discuss later on regarding coercion, undue influence, fraud, and misrepresentation? All these terms I will discuss clearly, but let's come to the next point. In the next point, that is the lawful object. Lawful object. Object means what? Objective of the agreement. That means whenever both the parties they are entering into agreement, their objective is must be lawful. Objective means whenever, suppose you enter into an agreement with your friend to gather in a public place and to prepare time bombs, right? Now you see the object, that is preparation of a time bomb, is not lawful. So if the very object of the entering into the contract, whenever both the parties they are entering into the contract, if the very object is unlawful, then the agreement will remain as an agreement only. It will not become a contract. Okay. And the next point, that is the agreement not expressly declared void. Agreement not expressly declared void. That means what? What is void? First, we should understand. Void means which cannot be enforceable in the court of law. Void means any agreement which cannot be enforceable in the court of law. And what are the situations coming under the void? That will be discussed under section 24 to 30. That means in section 24 to 30, they specify certain types of agreements which have been expressly declared void. Okay. For example, suppose one example I am giving you. John promises to pay 5 crores to Mary if she does not marry throughout her life. And Mary promises not to marry at all. Can this arrangement be considered as a valid in the eyes of law? अभी अगर आपका कोई फ्रेंड के साथ एक एग्रीमेंट करोगे कि आई विल पे यू 5 करोड़ एंड you are supposed to not marry throughout your life. So this cannot be this agreement is declared void, expressly declared void. And this will be discussed under section 24 to 30. That means there are certain types of agreements which have been expressly declared as void. Void का मतलब ये these are what cannot be enforced in the court of law. इसका मतलब ये agreement कभी भी आपका contract नहीं हो सकता. Okay. Next point is your certainty of meaning. Certainty of meaning का मतलब क्या होता है? जो agreement होता है, the wordings of the agreement must be clear and not uncertain. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है कि कोई agreement में जो meaning होता है, this meaning should be very clear so that both the parties should understand it in the same sense at the same time. If there will be any confusion or misleading thing in the agreement, then it leads to the uncertainty of the meaning. So if the meaning of the contract is or meaning of the agreement is not clear, then there is a uncertainty of the meaning so that it cannot be enforced in the court of law. One example I am giving you. Suppose Axis agrees to sell to Banki 100 tons of oil. Okay, understand? 100 tons of oil. This can be a valid agreement. 100 tons of oil. What do you mean by that? Generally, oil
not valid, sir.
Not valid.
No.
Why not valid? Because the thing is that we cannot understand it properly. We cannot. That means इसका जो meaning होता है, ये meaning certain नहीं है. That means we cannot exactly quantify the 100 tons of oil. Okay, we can quantify 100 kilo of rice. We can we can 5 liter of petrol. We can quantify, but 100 tons of oil. This is what we are not able to understand the meaning of this. So if there will be any confusion in the meaning of the object of the contract, then it will be not enforceable in the court of law. As a result, what happens? The agreement will not become a contract. It will remain only an agreement. Okay. And the next one is your possibility of a performance. Possibility of a performance has been discussed under section 57. That means, sorry, not 57, under section 56. The act say that if the act is impossible of a performance, it may be physically, it may be legally, then the agreement cannot be enforced by law. That means what? I am giving you another example. Suppose Montu tells John that he could run at a speed of 1000 km/h after eating a bowl of spinach. And John gets impressed and agrees to give him an award of rupees 5,000 if he does so. Now you see, it is unbelievable and it is impossible of what a human being, particularly running at a speed of 1,000 kilometers per hour. That is why, as it is impossible, there is the impossibility of a performance. It cannot, the agreement cannot be turned as a contract. It will remain as an agreement. Okay, why? Because of a impossibility of a performance. That means whenever we are making any agreement and there is any possibility of a performance, then only it will be enforced in the court of law. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Very good. And the last point, that is legal formalities. Legal formalities means what? In certain cases, as I told you earlier, that whenever we are making any dealing for land sale, at that time we are preparing a sales deed, and it should be written, and it should be strictly according to the format of law. That means how to write the sales deed. There is a particular format. In that format, we have to write, and as per the Transfer of a Property Act, what is the amount of a stamp paper, in which stamp paper we need to make the sales deed. All these are legal formalities. There should be signature. There should be signature of the witnesses, and there should be photograph of the concerned person, and it should be validated by the proper authority. All these things, these are called your legal formalities. So wherever particularly the nature of the agreement is like that, it needs to fulfill all these legal formalities. In those cases, without such fulfillment of such legal formalities, the agreement cannot be termed as contract. Right? Now I discussed all the points. That means all these points are the essential elements of a contract. That means if an agreement will satisfy all these conditions, then only it will be a contract. Otherwise, it will be an agreement. That is why someone has rightly said that all contracts are agreements, but all agreements are not contracts. Okay? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll little bit yes.
Sir, can you again repeat the points of the objective of contracts?
Objective of the contract.
Again.
Okay. You see, the objective of the contract should be lawful. Okay, that means the very objective of the contract should be lawful. If the very objective of the contract of the agreement is unlawful, then it cannot be enforced in the court of law. Unlawful means, for example, A and B enter into an agreement for preparing or manufacturing pistols, which is not lawful. Okay, that means the very object of the contract should be lawful. If it is unlawful, then it cannot be enforced in the court of law. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So now we'll little bit go ahead और थोड़ा आगे जाएंगे.
Sir, I have.
Yes. Have you any doubt?
Yeah. Yes, sir. The question is, sir, if we are going to go with a.
You are not audible clearly.
And in future, if something happen on the case, consider or it will be considered as it is illegal or it is not the point of law, so we're not going to consider it.
Actually, the middle part I am not able to hear. Please repeat.
So if we have done an agreement with someone and when it time to turn out to be contract, that is not turned out to be a contract because of the policies is not satisfied the policies of government. So that's why it didn't turn out to be a contract.
Very good. Actually,
but we have done an agreement.
You see, whenever there is a change of any government policy, and as per the government policy, it is not lawful. Then what it will be? It will become void. That means this agreement cannot be enforceable at the court of law. For example, I am giving just one example. Suppose I have entered into an agreement with a person of Pakistan to supply him. On a continuous basis rice, okay, and it is a valid agreement. But what happened whenever a war will be declared between India and Pakistan? At that time, agreement with the alien is void, right? It is as per law that agreement with alien. इसका मतलब अगर कोई दुश्मन कंट्री के साथ आप कोई एग्रीमेंट करते हो तो दैट इज void हो जाता है, ये अनलॉफुल हो जाता है. So as you have earlier made the agreement and you have also supplied rice continuously, at that time it was it was a contract. But when the war has been declared, at that time it will automatically become void. इसका मतलब no legal obligation. अगर war declare हो जाता है और वो दुश्मन का कंट्री हो गया तो आपका जो एग्रीमेंट था वो एग्रीमेंट अभी अनलॉफुल हो गया. That means you are not obliged to fulfill that contract. समझ में आ गया? So that means for that time being, whenever war has been declared, at that time it will become void, and for the rest of the time it will be a legal contract.
Got it, sir. That means until and unless it is going to be a part of the contract, we can submit the same before the law. But when when the agreement is not going to be part of contract, we cannot submit the same before the court of law.
Yeah, yes, very good, very good. Okay. You are not.
Excuse
your
me,
voice
sir.
is, yes.
Sir, if both the parties have agreed to change some clause in the contract, so what do they do?
If both the parties
Agree
agree.
to change some terms in the contract, what will
Okay.
they do?
The first thing you see that if it is first of all we have to see whether it was an agreement or it was a contract. If it was a contract, then it is if both the parties they are intending to change the terms of the contract, then a new contract will be made. That is what a cancellation of a contract and a renewal of a contract will be there. Okay, legally if will tell, then the old contract shall be cancelled and a new contract will be framed. Okay.
So we have to apply again for it.
No, you are not supposed to apply. Just you have to make an agreement afresh. You are supposed to make an agreement afresh, and that will be a contract. If it will if it is satisfying all the essential elements of a contract, which I have already discussed.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, see, one another case is there, sir. Suppose that you like madam just asked like that. Suppose that you have a valid contract and both the parties want to just get agreed that this clause is really not matching for our criteria, and after that, in this case, can we just provide just create a agreement, just agreement referring to the previous order and make some changes and can be implemented in the previous order in this way?
No, as per law, if you are making any addition, any modification to the old contract, that means by doing this act, the previous contract already stands cancelled. इसका मतलब समझ में आ रहा है? अगर आप contract में कोई भी term अगर आप change करते हो, slightly भी change करते हो, any term if you are changing, that means the old contract stands cancelled. इसका मतलब पुराना contract cancel हो गया and you are making a new contract. Okay.
Okay, sir.
That is in legal terminology that is called a cancellation of a contract and a renewal of a contract. Okay. आप सपोज एक contract करते किए हो and उसका सारा terms सेम है but उसका टाइम पीरियड सपोज था कि 2025 अब 2025 खत्म हो गया। जब 2025 खत्म हो गया और आप चाहते हो कि उसी कंट्रैक्ट को 2026 में कंप्लीट करने के लिए अगेन द सेम कंट्रैक्ट, दैट मीन्स अभी क्या होगा, आपको रिन्यू करना पड़ेगा, वही कंट्रैक्ट को आपको रिन्यूअल करना पड़ेगा। इसका मतलब रिन्यूअल होता है, इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि ओल्ड कंट्रैक्ट कैंसिल एंड ए न्यू कंट्रैक्ट हैज बीन मेड। ओके, दैट इज व्हाट अ रिन्यूअल ऑफ अ कंट्रैक्ट। इसका मतलब कि जो ओल्ड कंट्रैक्ट था वो कैंसिल हो गया एंड आप एक नया कंट्रैक्ट बना दिए। ओके, नाउ लेट अस डिस्कस a few types of a
सर
contract.
सर
Yes,
এটা
yes.
କ୍ୟାନସଲ ହେଲା ମାନେ ତ ନୂଆ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ହେଇଗଲା ନା।
हाँ, सही पर कोहली, कैंसलेशन ऑफ अ कंट्रैक्ट एंड रिन्यूअल ऑफ अ कंट्रैक्ट। तो इसका मतलब ओल्ड कंट्रैक्ट इज कैंसल्ड। अगर आप कोई भी टर्म अगर चेंज करते हो, इट लीड्स टू द कैंसलेशन ऑफ द ओल्ड कंट्रैक्ट, क्योंकि ओल्ड कंट्रैक्ट कैंसिल हो गया। आप अगर एक ही टर्म भी चेंज करते हो तो भी आपका ओल्ड कंट्रैक्ट कैंसिल हो गया। अब ये जो कंट्रैक्ट हुआ ये रिन्यूअल हो गया, ये न्यू कंट्रैक्ट हो गया। रिन्यूअल का मतलब क्या होता है, न्यू कंट्रैक्ट होता है। ओके, now we'll discuss regarding what are the different types of a contract. Okay, that is a classification of a contract. Let us classify the contracts on the basis of its validity. ठीक है, तो वैलिडिटी के हिसाब से अगर देखेंगे, पहला वाला कंट्रैक्ट जो होता है ये होता है वॉइडेबल कंट्रैक्ट। वॉइडेबल कंट्रैक्ट ये सेक्शन 2 सबसेक्शन I of Indian Contract Act. It is this section says that an agreement which is enforceable by law at the option of one or more of the parties thereto, but not at the option of the other or others, is a voidable contract. तो voidable contract का मतलब क्या होता है? That this can be enforceable in the court of law, but it can be voidable by the option of the other party. इसका मतलब suppose A and B are two parties in a contract, and the contract is satisfy all the essential elements. That means the agreement satisfy all the essential elements of the contract. That is why it is a contract. But what will happen? Any one that means one party has no objection, but the other party, if the other party will give his option by the option of the other party, that will become that means unenforceable. That means it will become voidable. So voidable का मतलब क्या होता है कि it is a valid contract. इसका मतलब this contract is enforceable at the court of law, but whenever another party will give his opinion that his intention or his opinion has been taken to the contract without his free consent, at that time it will become voidable. For that, I am giving you one example. Suppose Manju sells her car to Manoj for 2 lakh rupees on receiving a threatening from a local gunda. Okay, so in this case, you see, the consent of the Manju is not free. So what will happen if Manju will not put any objection? If Manju will not put any objection and wanted to fulfill the contract, then it will be enforceable. It will be enforceable in the court of law, and there will be valid contract. But if Manju will put that means file a suit in the court of law that my consent to the contract has been taken with the help of the coercion, then now what will happen? This agreement, although it is enforceable in the court of law, now the court will direct not to fulfill the contract. Okay, able to understand voidable contract?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next one is a void agreement and a void contract. So an agreement which is not enforceable by law is said to be void. And a void agreement does not create any legal relationship and is void ab initio. Ab initio means from the very beginning. I am giving you one example. X supplies luxury goods to Y, who is a minor, for a consideration of rupees 10,000. And Y refused to make the payment. So here you see X cannot enforce the agreement in the court of law since the agreement is void because Y is a minor. समझ में आ गया? जैसे कि मैं बताया था, who is incapable, एक पर्सन जो कि incapable of entering into contract, आप अगर उसके साथ एग्रीमेंट करोगे तो दैट इज void. ओके, समझ में आ गया? तो ये तो
सर
बताया।
सर सर जो ଆପଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି void void जो null and void तो सेम।
हाँ, जो null and void का मतलब क्या हुआ? That is what are not enforceable at the very beginning. That means whenever you have made that agreement from the very beginning, it is not enforceable in the court of law. Okay. Now, if we think about this what I am discussing regarding an agreement, but how the contract will be void? A contract that ceases to be enforceable by the law is known as void contract. अभी मैं जो आपको एग्जांपल दिया वो void एग्रीमेंट का था, लेकिन void contract, एक contract कैसे void होगा? A contract that ceases to be enforceable by law. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है कि एक contract जो कि आपका enforceable था but ceases to be enforceable, इसका मतलब enforceable वो अभी नहीं है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे कि आप कोई फॉरेनर के साथ एग्रीमेंट किए थे और वो कंट्री के साथ अभी वार डिक्लेयर हो गया, तो क्या हुआ? दैट वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट अभी void हो गया फॉर द टाइम बिंग। ओके, तो हमने voidable contract
Excuse me, sir.
yes yes
Sir, what is the difference between void and contract?
क्या 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 void and contract?
Void and contract agreement.
हाँ, एक void agreement क्या बताया? An agreement which is not enforceable by law is said to be void. समझ में आ रहा है? अगर आप एक एग्रीमेंट करते हो एंड दैट एग्रीमेंट इज नॉट एनफोर्सेबल बाय लॉ, तो ये हो गया आपका void. जैसे कि आप एग्रीमेंट किए हो एंड दैट एग्रीमेंट इज नॉट सेटिस्फाइंग एनीवन और ऑल ऑफ द एसेंशियल एलिमेंट्स ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, देन वो क्या हो जाता है? void हो जाता है, राइट? लेकिन एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कैसे void होगा? इसका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट void होगा, इसका मतलब वो पहले एनफोर्सेबल था, क्योंकि एग्रीमेंट satisfying all the essential elements become a contract. तो एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, इसका एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कैसे void होगा? तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑलरेडी, इसका मतलब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एनफोर्सेबल बाय लॉ था, लेकिन whenever the situations became like that, फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे कि आप कोई फॉरेनर के साथ एक एग्रीमेंट किए थे और वो एग्रीमेंट के सारा कंडीशंस आपका सेटिस्फाई किया था, तो देयर वाज ए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंड व्हाट हैपेंड व्हेनेवर देयर इज सॉरी फॉर द इंटरप्शन। तो समझ में आ रहा है? इसका मतलब एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था एंड वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट क्या हुआ? ड्यू टू सर्टेन सिचुएशन दैट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विल बिकम void. कैसे कि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जब आपका ये हो जाएगा सीजेस टू बी एनफोर्सेबल बाय द लॉ, इसका मतलब वो और एनफोर्सेबल नहीं होगा। कैसे नहीं एनफोर्सेबल नहीं होगा? जैसे कि आप एग्जांपल बताया, कोई फॉरेनर के साथ आप एग्रीमेंट किए थे, वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था, वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था, बट व्हेनेवर वार हैज बीन डिक्लेयर्ड देन दैट विल बी ceases to be enforceable. तो ये हो गया void contract. समझ
सर
में आ
Okay,
गया?
sir. Thank you.
जो जिस टाइम में एग्रीमेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हुआ था उस टाइम राइट टाइम था। जब वॉर डिक्लेयर होने के बाद ये कंसर्न आया कि अभी वॉर डिक्लेयर है तो वो मतलब वाइड हो गया, बट
हाँ,
जो
void
पेमेंट
contract.
और ट्रांजेक्शन जैसे जो मटेरियल डिस्पैच किया है सब जा चुका, उसका पेमेंट सब होल्ड हो जाएगा।
हाँ, अभी तो क्योंकि अभी तो void हो गया ना, वो अभी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट तो void, इसका मतलब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का जो परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था, बोथ द पार्टीज आर नॉट लायबल टू फुलफिल देयर टर्म्स ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। तो इसका मतलब आप अगर कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के बेसिस में कुछ ट्रांजेक्शन किए हो तो दैट इज ऑल्सो इलीगल। अभी सपोज एक बार डिक्लेयर हो गया, तो इसीलिए जब हम फॉरेनर के साथ एग्रीमेंट करते हैं तो वहां पर एक कंडीशन, इट इज बेटर दैट वी शुड राइट ए कंडीशन that if it will be further, if the contract will become void, then what shall be the responsibility of both the parties to the contract? अगर वो कंडीशन भी पहले आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में मेंशन करते हो, then the parties are able to fulfill the condition. Okay, so that means there is a little bit legal criticality at that time, particularly for that purpose. Whenever we are dealing with any foreigners, we should go through the RBI. अभी जो होता है आपका फेमा एक्ट होता है, फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मैनेजमेंट एक्ट, वो बताता है क्या कि डायरेक्टली आप किसी पार्टी के साथ एग्रीमेंट मत करो. करने से क्या होगा, देयर विल बी नो मिडिल मैन. तो अगर वार पर डिक्लेयर हो जाता है तो जब ये हो जाएगा, आपने मटेरियल सप्लाई किए और वो पार्टी विल नॉट मेक द पेमेंट इन दैट टेकिंग दैट क्लू, क्योंकि उसको क्लू मिल गया ना कि अभी वार डिक्लेयर हो गया, मैं पेमेंट नहीं करूंगा. तो इसीलिए क्या होता है, इफ यू विल गो थ्रू द फेमा, तो फेमा के थ्रू में अगर आप ये कर रहे हो तो इसमें क्या होता है, दे विल टेक नेसेसरी स्टेप्स टू कलेक्ट योर पेमेंट. Okay, whenever we'll discuss FEMA.
Sorry, sir, could you repeat it again, please?
Actually, whenever you want to deal with foreigners, particularly export, whenever you are doing export and import business, if you wanted to do, then please go through the FEMA, right? FEMA का मतलब यहाँ पर regulator होता है RBI. Okay, so ये RBI जो होता है, RBI would have a good control over the जो foreign trade में. For that purpose, if you had sent any goods and then their war will be declared regarding the payment part, you should not be worried. Why the that is Reserve Bank of India, they will take care of that. Okay, so whenever we will read or discuss Foreign Exchange Management Act, although I don't think it will be in your syllabus, if it will be in your syllabus, we will discuss it in detail. Okay, so now you understand that a contract, when it is suggested to be enforceable by law, it is known as a void contract. Okay, the next one is your illegal agreement. Illegal agreement means an illegal contract is one which जो कि क्या होता है कि against public policy होता है, और which is criminal in nature, or which is immoral. Immoral होता है क्या? Such an agreement is not only void but has a further effect that even the collateral transaction to it become to be illegal. Okay, इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि सपोज आप ऐसे कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करते हो विद द इंटेंशन, जिसका कि इंटेंशन होता है अगेंस्ट पब्लिक पॉलिसी. अगेंस्ट पब्लिक पॉलिसी का मतलब क्या होता है, अभी सपोज आप कोई वल्गर पिक्चर आप कहीं पर पब्लिक प्लेस में आप पोस्टर लगाओगे, तो दैट इज अगेंस्ट पब्लिक पॉलिसी. ऐसे कुछ बहुत सारा अगेंस्ट पब्लिक पॉलिसी होता है. इफ इट विल बी देन इट विल बी इलीगल एग्रीमेंट. Okay, now we'll discuss regarding another type, that is unenforceable contract. Unenforceable. That means whenever there are some technical defects. टेक्निकल डिफेक्ट्स का मतलब क्या होता है, सपोज आप एक लैंड सेल के लिए आप सेल्स डीड कर रहे हो और सेल्स डीड में क्या हो रहा है कि एक पार्टी का सिग्नेचर नहीं है, और वेयर द क्या होता है कि सपोज जो एग्रीमेंट होता है, एग्रीमेंट में एक टर्म एक टाइम पीरियड होता है, within suppose 1 month, if the parties will not make the payment, then the contract is said to be unenforceable. तो यहाँ पर क्या होता है, बाय लैप्स ऑफ द टाइम ये एग्रीमेंट आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में ट्रांसफर नहीं होगा. अगर भी अगर ये सेटिस्फाई करता है बाकी सब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गया, बट विद इन दैट स्टिपुलेटेड टाइम इफ द पेमेंट विल बी नॉट बी रिसीव्ड, देन ये अनएनफोर्सेबल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा. ओके, उसको लेकर आप फर्दर कोर्ट में जाने से द कोर्ट दे विल रिजेक्ट दिस एज इट इज अनएनफोर्सेबल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. ओके, one example I am giving you. On 17th December 2021, Monica entered into a contract in written with Jyotika that she shall buy 10 kg strawberries at a rate of rupees 100 per kg from her. After exact 14 days, on 1/1/2021, there was a defect in mentioning the year. तो समझ में आ रहा है? This makes the contract unenforceable. तो यहाँ पर क्या हुआ, वो जो ईयर नहीं लिखा है, ऑन 17 दिसंबर 2021 इट शुड बी, बट यहाँ पर क्या हुआ, यहाँ पर जो ईयर मेंशन नहीं किया. द एग्रीमेंट हैज बीन मेड ऑन दैट डेट बट दे हैव नॉट मेंशन द डेट. अगर डेट अगर मेंशन नहीं है तो क्या होगा अभी? ओके, so it will be unenforceable, right? So another classification देखेंगे, classification of the contract on the basis of the formation. तो formation के basis में जब contract हम देखेंगे, what are different types of a contract. One will be express contract. Express contract का मतलब क्या होता है? As the name suggests, in this contract, when the parties to the agreement either orally or in a written form state the terms and the conditions of the contract. इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि जो both the parties to the contract, they either written or orally they have discussed all the terms of the contract and agreed all the terms of the contract. Then it will be express contract. Express contract का एक example देता हूँ. Suppose John writes a letter to Harry offering to sell his house to him for 28 lakhs, and Harry by a written letter gives his acceptance of the proposal. Such a contract is known as an express contract. समझ में आ रहा है? तो express contract का मतलब क्या होता है? This contract should be either written or oral. Clear? The second one is your implied contract. So implied contract means a contract which is inferred by the activities and the conduct of the parties concerned. और इसको other words में अगर आप समझना चाहो तो a contract in which the element that is offer and acceptance is made without the use of the word. इसका मतलब यहाँ पर जो offer and acceptance होता है वहाँ पर कुछ words use नहीं होता है, neither written nor oral. So this type of a contract is known your implied contract. Okay, and such a contract come into being from the assumed intention of the parties. So it can be of two types. कैसे होता है? Implied by law or implied by fact. तो implied by law क्या होता है? A contract implied by law is one in which the parties have no intention to enter into contract. However, the law imposes an obligation to perform the contract, irrespective of the consent of the parties. अभी एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल आपको दे रहा हूँ. देखो क्या हो रहा है. Roma gives books to Alan by mistake, which belongs to Sarah. Now it is Alan's obligation to return the book to Roma, even there is no intention to get into the contract. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है मैं आपको समझाता हूँ. जैसे कि ये जो implied by law में contract कैसा होता है कि जहां पर पार्टी का इंटेंशन नहीं होता है टू एंटर इनटू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. जैसे कि सपोज आपके घर में कोई आ गया, कोई विजिटर आपके घर में आ गया. ही इज नॉट ए फ्रेंड एंड एनी what a family member, and by mistake he forgot his purse to take. तो अभी आपका ड्यूटी क्या बनता है? आपका ड्यूटी बनता है कि आप उसे ढूंढोगे और उसको अगर वो अगर मिलेगा तो उसको उसका पर्स आप लौटाओगे. पर्स में जितना पैसा था उसको लौटाओगे. यू हैव नो राइट टू स्पेंड दैट मनी योरसेल्फ. तो यहाँ पर क्या होता है? लॉ ऑटोमेटिकली आपके साथ एक एग्रीमेंट कर देता है उस बंदे का, जहाँ की उस बंदे के साथ आपका कोई रिलेशन नहीं है. समझ में आ रहा है ना? यहाँ पर क्या होता है? इम्प्लाइड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में जो इम्प्लाइड बाय लॉ, here the parties to the contract, they don't have any intention to enter into contract, but automatically the law imposes an obligation to perform the contract irrespective of the consent of the parties. ये हुआ implied by the law. Another होता है implied by fact. Implied by fact का मतलब क्या होता है? In a contract implied by fact, the obligation is created between the parties on the basis of the circumstances of the action. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है कि जो सिचुएशन होता है, फ्रॉम द सिचुएशन we understand that means this obligation will arise. जब कि आप क्या करते हो, जाते हो कोई सपोज ग्रोसरी शॉप में, ग्रोसरी शॉप में जाते हो, तो आप बोल रहे हो कि भाई आई वांट 5 kg ऑफ शुगर, तो 5 kg ऑफ शुगर आपका पैक कर देता है एंड यू आर सपोज टू मेक द पेमेंट, है ना। तो यहाँ पर आपके साथ एग्रीमेंट नहीं हुआ कि शुगर का प्राइस कितना है, तो इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है, अभी इफ यू हैव ऑर्डर टू पैक the 5 kilo of sugar, so whatever the price you will tell, that you are supposed to give, right? And whatever the price he will sell, that means if you will tell that 1 kilo of sugar is 5,000 rupees, so it is impossible. Okay, that means you see implied, जैसे कि और एक सिचुएशन जो बता रहा हूँ, सपोज टाउन बस चलता है और टाउन बस में आप उठ जाते हो, so automatically it is implied by the circumstances that there is a contract between you and the bus owner, that you are supposed to make the payment, right? ये हो जाता है implied. तो implied contract समझ में आ गया, और any doubt implied contract में?
Sir, please repeat
clear,
express contract.
Express contract. So express contract is a contract where both the parties to the contract, they either orally or in written, they will express all the terms of the contract. समझ में आ रहा है? इसका मतलब both the parties to the contract, they will discuss all the terms of the contract either orally or through written. If there will be any oral agreement or any written agreement for the terms of the contract, then it is called an express contract.
Sir, is it enforceable by law?
Obviously, obviously.
सर ओराल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रो प्रूफ कोन
ସେଇ ଜିନିଷ ତ ଆମେ ଲାଷ୍ଟ କ୍ଲାସରେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିଥିଲେ, ମୁଁ ତମକୁ କହିଥିଲି ସେମିତି କିଛି ପ୍ରୁଫ ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଆମର ସେଫ୍ ସାଇଡରେ ରହିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛେ, ଅଲୱେଜ ଟ୍ରାଏ ଟୁ କିପ୍ ସମ୍ ପ୍ରୁଫ, ଅଦରୱାଇଜ ଓରାଲ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ଇଜ ଅଲସୋ ଏ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ। ଯଦି ତମର ଲ ଯଦି ତମକୁ କହୁଛି ଯେ ତମେ ଯଦି କୌଣସି ଓରାଲ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ କରିଛ, ଦେନ୍ ଅଲସୋ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ enforceable at the court of law. So let other party break that, and he will see what is the legal consequence. ତମେ ପାଟିରେ ଜଣକୁ କହିଦେଇଥିଲ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ, ତାର ଅର୍ଥ ନୁହେଁ ଯେ ଏମିତିରେ କହିଦେଇଥିଲ, ରାଇଟ୍?
ତାର ଏ ବାହାଘରିଆ କଥା ଗୁଡା ବୋଧେ ସେଟା ଓରାଲ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ।
ହଁ, ତମ ବାହାଘର କଣ ତମେ ରିଟିନ ହଉଛି, ଯୋଉଠି କୋର୍ଟରେ ମ୍ୟାରେଜ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ରିଟିନ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, କିନ୍ତୁ ତମର ଯେତେବେଳେ ବାହାଘର ହଉଛି ତମେ ବାହାଘର ପାଇଁ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରିଛ, କିନ୍ତୁ ତମେ ଯଦି ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଗୋଟେ ପାର୍ଟି ରାଜି ହେଲାନି କି ପଛରେ ଇଏ କରୁଛି, ଯଦି ଅଦର ପାର୍ଟିର ବିନା କନସେଣ୍ଟରେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସେ ଭାଙ୍ଗୁଛି, ଦେନ୍ ଅଦର ପାର୍ଟି କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଟେକ୍ ଲିଗାଲ ଆକ୍ସନ against the other party.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, according to express contract, contract to be made by what spoken or written.
Yes,
so
yes.
maximum contracts will be express contract.
Most of the contracts are express contract, but these are few cases, जैसे कि आप कहीं पर गए, ऑर्डर दे दिए खाने, एक होटल में गए, आप एक जो वेटर आया, वेटर आपको दिया एक होता है मेन्यू कार्ड, और मेन्यू से आप बता दिए दिस एंड अकॉर्डिंगली ही सप्लाइड ऑल दीज थिंग्स, यू हैव नेवर आस्क्ड फॉर इट्स प्राइस। अभी क्या हो रहा है कि बाद में अगर आप देखोगे प्राइस, अरे भाई इतना प्राइस है, मैं नहीं दूंगा, ऐसा नहीं बता सकते हो। Once you have selected these items and order for that, means there is an implied contract between you and the hotel that you will consume those items and you will pay for those items.
सर ये एक क्वेश्चन था, ऐसे कि जितना भी कॉर्पोरेट है या फिर टेंडर प्रोजेक्ट, जितना मैक्सिमम सर, तो मोस्टली हम लोग किस टाइप का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मतलब ये
एक्सप्रेस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, मोस्टली एक्सप्रेस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट।
सर एक्सप्रेस में सर आप बता रहे हैं कि वो ओरली हो सकता है या रिटन हो सकता है, बट यहाँ तो मैक्सिमम रिटन ही रहता है केवल।
हाँ, एक्सप्रेस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ओरल एंड रिटन बोथ होता है आपका एक्सप्रेस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, तो डोंट बी कंफ्यूज। एक्सप्रेस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का मतलब चाहे ओरल हो चाहे रिटन हो, बोथ आर योर एक्सप्रेस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। ओके, Okay,
Okay.
and generally for our betterment it is better. जैसे कि आप पार्टनरशिप डीड कर रहे हो, सपोज पार्टनरशिप डीड, तो कभी कभी पार्टनरशिप भी ऐसे, सपोज कोई दोनों फ्रेंड अगर पार्टनरशिप कर रहे हैं तो वो डीड नहीं बनाते हैं। लेकिन अगर कोई आप अनजान आदमी के साथ करते हो पार्टनरशिप डीड और नॉन आदमी के साथ करते हो, तो फिर भी इट इज बेटर दैट वी शुड राइट ऑल द टर्म्स ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. It will be better. Okay, well, that is from the safe side, I am telling, because it will provide you extra mileage in the court of law. Although oral contract is also a valid contract and it is a express contract. Okay.
Sir, Ranjan this side. I want to ask a question. When you're doing an agreement, by the time the court bond paper, we're having a stamp is like 10 rupees, 100 rupees, 1,000 rupees. So is it actually affect the contract or contract value, or it is not really included about this?
It is actually bond paper is not required. Okay, bond paper is not required. Only when जैसे कि मैं बता रहा हूँ, अगर आप कोई सेल्स डीड कर रहे हो और पावर ऑफ अटर्नी कर रहे हो, तो एट दैट टाइम एक्चुअली होता है क्या कि कुछ कोर्ट का कुछ स्पेसिफिकेशन होता है, अकॉर्डिंग टू द स्पेसिफिक फॉर्मेट इट शुड बी रिटन, एंड इट शुड बी रिटन ऑन अ बॉन्ड पेपर, दैट इज स्टाम्प पेपर होता है, एंड स्टाम्प पेपर का कितना प्राइस होगा, दैट इज ऑल्सो specified, so that we need to purchase. Otherwise, whenever we are doing a general contract, in the plain paper you can also write that, no issues. ऐसा नहीं कि कोई contract bond paper में ही होगा, ठीक है?
Right, sir. But sir, I see a problem that when the employer doing the contract with the organization, it may be 1 year agreement, may be 2 year agreement. But when the employee they are doing an agreement with the organization for 1 year contract or maybe 2 year contract on the agreement basis. By the time the organization demand that you should bring a court paper, means the legal paper where it is 10 rupees or 100 rupees bond stamp is there.
They are becoming more than what we are telling extra costs. Okay, they are becoming extra costs. Actually, nothing is there for this bond paper and court paper. Once in the plain paper, you have, you see, when in a plain paper you have written all the terms and both the parties have put their signature. That is all. And the court accept everything. Court accept all these things. Court not only court will accept only the bond paper. Okay.
So some organization also say that you do it notarize that agreement also, sir.
Yes, I am telling that what they are becoming extra costs. Okay, they are becoming extra costs. So that means the other party will be in fear that if I'll do any violation, then they will take legal action against us. Okay, it is only to put fear in the mind of the employee, nothing else.
The psychological pressure they are creating that yes, you have done an agreement with the paper, you have to.
हाँ, आपको डराएंगे कि आप कोर्ट पेपर में साइन किए हो, आप बॉन्ड पेपर में साइन किए हो, we can take legal action against you, all these things. That is to put extra pressure and being extra cautious. कभी-कभी हो जाता है ना, कोई आदमी देखो कि वो extra cautious हो जाते हैं। हालांकि जैसे देखो घर से अगर आप निकलते हो तो if you are driving bike, then you should wear shoe. तो ये शू का मतलब क्या होता है? ये फुल शू हो सकता है, हाफ शू हो सकता है, स्लीपर भी हो सकता है, ठीक है? लेकिन एक्स्ट्रा कसर जो होते हैं वो फुल शू पहनते हैं, like that.
Right. So one more thing I want to ask that ये मेरा confusion है, it used to say कि अगर आप A4 sheet पेपर में कोई भी बॉन्ड बनाते हो तो ये कोर्ट में वैलिड नहीं माना जाता। इधर यू कैन गो विद बॉन्ड पेपर जो लीगल पेपर रहता है।
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। Okay, these are what extra costs. Whenever we are becoming extra costs, we are doing all these things. प्लेन पेपर में ज्यादातर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट तो पहले अभी देखो पहले से अगर देखो कि ज्यादातर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट प्लेन पेपर में हुआ करता था, So अभी why these are becoming, because the people are becoming extra cautious and they are trying to put pressure on the opposite party. That opposite there should be, अगर आप कोई कोर्ट पेपर में कोई बॉन्ड पेपर में साइन करते हो तो आपको थोड़ा डर लगेगा कि भाई मैं एक कोर्ट पेपर में साइन किया हूँ, कुछ लीगल एक्शन ले लेगा अदर पार्टी। हालांकि ये एक प्रेशर होता है दिमाग पर, इसीलिए वो करते हैं। ऐसा नहीं, तो कोर्ट विल नॉट रिजेक्ट एनी रिटन। कोर्ट को कोई एविडेंस चाहिए, ठीक है। एविडेंस का मतलब वो रिटन पेपर भी हो सकता है, कोई अगर आपका विटनेस होता है वो भी हो सकता है। ऐसे कि नहीं एक सीट ऑफ पेपर आपका एविडेंस होगा, कोई विटनेस भी एविडेंस का काम भी कर सकता है। अगर दोनों बातचीत कर रहे हो, कोई टर्म्स फाइंडिंग करते हो, तो अगर कोई थर्ड पर्सन वहां पर है और उसका नाम आपको याद है तो यू कैन पुट दैट पर्सन एज एविडेंस इन द कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ। हालांकि आपके बीच कोई भी रिटन एग्रीमेंट नहीं हुआ है, वो भी हो सकता है। ओके, why people are doing like that? Because of what extra causes or for putting extra pressure on the opposite party, they are doing like that. Okay, now we'll discuss another classification of the contract on the basis of performance. I think time is already over. Okay, so in the next class we'll discuss the rest point.
Sir, one last question, sir.
Sure. Please ask.
What is the essential elements of legal contract?
What are what is not what is, but what are the essential elements of a legal contract? इसका मतलब जितना पॉइंट सारा पॉइंट्स में डिस्कशन किया, जो all the 8 or 9 points which I have discussed, these are the essential elements of a contract. इसका मतलब कोई एग्रीमेंट अगर सेटिस्फाई करता है ये सारा पॉइंट्स, then it will be a valid contract. Otherwise वो एग्रीमेंट ही रह जाएगा, वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं बनेगा। समझ में आ गया?
हाँ सर, ये एक क्वेश्चन और था सर, जो वाइड होने का बोल रहे थे ना, जो दूसरे कंट्री से वार हो गया तो वो वाला वाइड हो जाएगा, तो ये कोई एक्ट के तहत, मतलब हम लोग इसको स्टडी करते हैं क्या? मतलब कौन सा एक्ट के तहत इसको पढ़ते हैं?
नहीं, देखो इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट में ही दिखाया गया कि एग्रीमेंट विथ एलियन। ओके, एग्रीमेंट विथ एलियन, इसका मतलब कोई दुश्मन कंट्री के साथ अगर आप कोई एग्रीमेंट करते हो तो दैट इज वॉइड। ठीक है, ये इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट में ही है।
सर ये void contract and voidable contract both same or different?
नहीं, void and voidable दोनों अलग होता है ना। जैसे कि बताया, देखो voidable में क्या होता है कि दैट इज एनफोर्सेबल बाय लॉ, दैट इज अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट व्हिच इज एनफोर्सेबल बाय लॉ, but it can be rejected or it will become unenforceable in the court of law by the option of the other party. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? अभी जैसे कि मैं एक सिचुएशन बताया कि सपोज गॉन पॉइंट में रख के आपके साथ कोई एक एग्रीमेंट बनाया गया है, ठीक है, गॉन पॉइंट में रखकर। एंड फाइनली क्या हुआ, वो एग्रीमेंट जब डील हो रहा है, तो अगर डील हो जाएगा तो वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गया। लेकिन आप अगर कोर्ट में अपील करोगे कि माई कंसेंट टू द एग्रीमेंट वाज टेकन बाय अनड्यू इन्फ्लुएंस, देन एट दैट टाइम कोर्ट विल डायरेक्ट टू what not to discharge the obligation in the contract, or at that time it will become void. समझ में आ रहा है? तो void contract का मतलब it is what unenforceable in the contract, in the court of law. लेकिन voidable में क्या होता है कि it was a valid contract, it was enforceable in the court of law, but it will become void at the option of other party. कोई एक पार्टी अगर ये किया, कोर्ट में फाइल किया सूट, and he will prove that his consent to the contract has been taken by application of coercion, undue influence, or mistake or misrepresentation, then the court will order that this contract becomes void. इसका मतलब वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था, वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था, और वो हो गया अभी आपका void कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। समझ में आ गया ना?
Yes sir, yes.
Okay. So
illegal contract.
हाँ, इलीगल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का मतलब देखो, इलीगल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का मतलब क्या होता है? पहले वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था, अभी वो इलीगल बन गया। तो अभी इलीगल बन गया कैसे? जैसे कि वही एग्जांपल दिया था आपको इफ द वार हैज बीन डिक्लेयर्ड, तो अब ये वर्ड बन गया, अब ये इलीगल हो गया। समझ में आ गया?
सर
सर ये
एग्रीमेंट
इसका मतलब है कि सर
एग्रीमेंट करूची ଜଣଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଏଗ୍ରିମେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଛି ଟାଇମ ଲିମିଟ ପାଇଁ 6 ମାସ ତ 6
ହଁ
ମାସ ଅକ୍ଟୋବର 30 ରେ ମୋର ସରିଗଲା ଏଗ୍ରିମେଣ୍ଟ ଟା ତ
ହୁଁ
ପେମେଣ୍ଟ କରିବାର ତ ମୁଁ ଯଦି ପେମେଣ୍ଟ କଲିନି ତାହେଲେ
ହୁଁ
ଅପୋଜିଟ ମୋ ଏଗେନ୍ଷ୍ଟ କେସ୍ କଲେ ଏଇଟା କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ଟା ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟେବଲ ହବ ନା ନାଇଁ କୋର୍ଟରେ
ହଁ
ଏଗ୍ରିମେଣ୍ଟ
ତମର ଯେତେବେଳେ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ କରିଛ, କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟରେ ତମର ଥିଲା ଯେ ୱିଦିନ 6 months ୟୁ ୱିଲ୍ ମେକ୍ ଦ ପେମେଣ୍ଟ। ତା ମାନେ ଯଦି ପାର୍ଟି ଫୁଲଫିଲ ତାର କଣ୍ଡିସନ କରିନି ସେଇ 6 ମାସ ଭିତରେ, ତ ପାର୍ଟି ଇଜ ରେସ୍ପନ୍ସିବଲ ଫର ଦ୍ୟାଟ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା ତାହେଲେ 6 ମାସ ପରେ କେସ୍ କଲେ ସେଟା ଏଗ୍ରିମେଣ୍ଟ ଟା ଭ୍ୟାଲିଡ ହବ।
ତମେ 6 ମାସ ପରେ ବି କେସ୍ କଲେ ଭ୍ୟାଲିଡ ହବ। କାହିଁକି? କାରଣ ତମର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟ ଥିଲା ଯୋଉ ପିରିୟଡ ପାଇଁ, ସେ ପିରିୟଡ ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ପାର୍ଟି ତାର ଓବ୍ଲିଗେସନ ଫୁଲଫିଲ କରିଛି। Suppose within 6 months the party has supplied the goods to you and it is your duty to make the payment. ତାହେଲେ ଗୋଟେ ପାର୍ଟି ତାର obligation fulfill କରିଛି, another party fails to fulfill his contract, ତେବେ other party can file a suit against him। ହେଇପାରିବ, କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ।
सर एज पर एग्रीमेंट भी सेटा करा जीवो ना, एग्रीमेंट रे जो जिंसटा मेंशन हेइथिबो सेही हिसाब रे ही से किछि लीगली इशू करि परिबो।
हाँ, तो जदि तमे एग्रीमेंट रे मेंशन करिथिबो आफ्टर 6 months no party has any claim regarding the performance of the contract। तार अर्थ 6 मास परे कौनसी पार्टी क्लेम करि परिबेनी for the fulfillment of the contract, then आ 6 मास परे तार आ किछि वैलिडिटी नहीं।
Sir, one more question. So, like in the contract, it is mentioned that if you will resign this period, then you will be penalized. It is enforceable by the law?
Yes.
Yes, it is possible.
Yes, possible. It is possible.
हाँ, जोडे भी टेकन एक्शन जहाँ भी थिबो सेटा नहीं परिबो।
Okay, thank you.
सर ये except valid contracts, all other contracts will come under illegal contracts, void contracts, voidable contract, unenforceable contracts।
देखो, एक तो होता है वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, दूसरा होता है बाकी सब इलीगल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। ये जो जितना सब होता है, एक्चुअली ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का वेराइटीज है, लेकिन ओवरऑल दे आर नॉट वैलिड। अगर आप मेन टू कैटेगरीज, वन इज वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंड अदर्स आर इनवैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। तो इनवैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में ये सब आ जाते हैं।
ओके सर, मतलब इनवैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स में अंदर में इलीगल भी आ जाएगा और void
हाँ,
voidable
सब
सब। ओके सर।
ओके
सर हमरो एग्रीमेंट ता जदी लॉफुल थिबो ताला तो सेटा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हेबा कथा। लास्ट क्लास से आपण जोटा कहिथिले तो जदी एग्रीमेंट ता लॉफुल न होला ताले एटा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो।
एग्रीमेंट ता लॉफुल किमिति हबो? जो 8टा 9टा पॉइंट जो डिस्कशन कली सेगुडी कहला तार एसेंशियल एलिमेंट। जदी एग्रीमेंट ता सही तक कंडीशन सब सैटिस्फाई करूची, तेबे इट इज लॉफुल, सो दैट इट विल बी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। ओके,
कोई नंबर पे सेंड कर दो, सेम नंबर पे सेंड कर दो।
एनी अदर डाउट? एनीबॉडी हैविंग एनी अदर डाउट?
सर
Yes.
सर आपण ए जो हमको गोटे बुक दिया छि बिजनेस रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क, एडु पढुछन ना अन्य को बुक रो पढुछन?
नहीं, देखो एक्चुअली
थोड़ा 9:30, थोड़ा रुक जाओ, अभी मैं थोड़ा बिजी। 10 बजे के बाद
बहुत गुडाए लॉ बुक अच्छी, लाइक आपण फॉलो करि परिबे। एनडी कपूर अच्छी, जोटा कि आपनकर कमर्शियल लॉ बाय एनडी कपूर। आ गोटे अच्छी तमरो सेन एंड मित्र, दैट इज मर्केंटाइल लॉ बाय सेन एंड मित्र। यू कैन फॉलो दीज टू बुक, दीज आर वेरी गुड बुक्स जदि बुक फॉलो करिया पई चाहुचंती। अदरवाइज जो मटेरियल अच्छी दैट इज आल्सो सफिशिएंट।
सर हमको पीपीटी कार्ड टिके सर शेयर कर देबे।
हाँ, श्योर। बर्तमान मु जो फोन नंबर देछि मते किए जणे हेले गोटे हाई मेसेज करि दियो, तो सो दैट आई विल सेंड दिस पीपीटी टू यू एंड यू विल सेंड इट इन योर बुक। ओके
सर सेमति किछि अछि भल्ला ऑथर रे सेमति किछि बुक्स?
ଭଲ ଥରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହିଲି ଏନଡି କପୁର ଆପଣ ଇଏ କରନ୍ତୁ କମର୍ସିଆଲ ଲ ବାय ଏନଡି କପୁର ଏନଡି କପୁର ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ମର୍କାଣ୍ଟାଇଲ ଲ ବାय ସେନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ମିତ୍ର ଓକେ
Okay, sir. Thank you.
ଏନଡି କପୁର ବୁକ୍ ଟା ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଭଲ କ୍ୱାଲିଟିର ବୁକ୍ ସେଟା ହଉଛି ଆପଣ ଏସାନ ପବ୍ଲିକେସନ ର ଭଲ ବୁକ୍ ଟା ବଢିଆ ବୁକ୍ ଟା ସେଥିରେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡାଏ ବି କେସ୍ ଲ ବି ଆପଣ ପାଇପାରିବେ ଯଦି इंटरेस्टेड ଅଛନ୍ତି
और
ତେବେ
एक बार फोन नंबर दे दीजिएगा मैं वो थोड़ा नोट कर लूंगा तो
हाँ हाँ माय फोन नंबर इट इज 99380
जस्ट मिनट हाँ सर 99
380
यस सर
76764
76764 so I will give you a message hi you please change the PPT sir
ओके ओके श्योर थैंक यू
ସାର୍ ମୁଁ
Thank you,
ଭାବୁଥିଲି
sir.
ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ପଠେଇ ଦେଇଥିଲେ ଭଲ ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା
କଣ କହିଲେ
ସାର୍ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ସାର୍ ପିଡିଏଫ ଟା ପଠେଇଥିଲେ ଭଲ ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା ମାନେ ସମସ୍ତେ
actually I am not in the
ଯାହା
group
କରୁଛନ୍ତି କରନ୍ତୁ ଯାହା କରୁଛନ୍ତି କରନ୍ତୁ ଆଉ ଯଦି ନେଇଯାଉଛି
सर
ହଁ
ग्रुप
ସାର୍
ରେ पठेले ଭଲ
ପର୍ସନାଲି
ହୁଅନ୍ତା
ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ସଆପ ରେ
मैडम को
ପଠେଇଛୁ
ଦେଇକି ଆମର ଯୋଉ
ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ
ଅଛନ୍ତି मैडम ना
हाँ
मैडम को
ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ
ପଠେଇଲେ
ଆପଣ
ଭଲ ହୁଅନ୍ତା
ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ନମ୍ବରଟା ଦେଇ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ଫ୍ୟୁଚରରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଦରକାର ଏମିତି
ରଶ୍ମି
ଫୋନ
ରଶ୍ମି ସାର୍ ରଶ୍ମି
ହଁ
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଥରେ ପଠେଇ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ ସେଟା
ଆଖିଟା
ବେଟର
ଟିକେ
ହବ
ଧରିଛି ଏଇଟା
ମୁଁ ରଶ୍ମି ପଠେଇ ଦଉଛି ମୁଁ ରଶ୍ମି ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ପାଖକୁ ପଠେଇ ଦଉଛି ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଟିକେ ରଶ୍ମି ମ୍ୟାଡାମଙ୍କ ସହିତ କଥା ହେଇକି ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ସେୟାର
ସାର୍
କରିଦେବେ
ବେଟର ହବ ରଶ୍ମି ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ସହିତ ଇଏ କରି କୋର୍ଡିନେଟ କରି ପଠେଇଲେ ଭଲ ହୁଅନ୍ତା
ହଁ
ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି
ଠିକ ଅଛି
हेलो सर ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ହାଏ କରିଛି ଟିକେ ପିପିଟି ଟିକେ ସେଣ୍ଡ କରିଦେବେ ପ୍ଲିଜ
ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ସାର୍ ସବୁ ସାର୍ ମାନଙ୍କର
ଚାରିଟା ବେଳେ ଆସି କହିବି
ओके 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 थैंक यू थैंक यू
थैंक यू सर
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू
sir
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
thank you sir
Thank you, sir.
thank you
ओके थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you, sir.
ସରିଲାଣି ଯେଟା ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ବି କେମିତି ବାହାରିବ ବୁଝିପାରିଲେ ଆଉ ଖାଇନ ତମେ ତ ଜାଣିଛ ମତେ ଖାଇବାକୁ ଦେଲନି 8:15 କ୍ଲାସ ବୋଲି ତ କାଇଁ କାଲି କୋଉଠି
ତମେ କାଲି କେତେବେଳେ କ୍ଲାସ କରିଛ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି ଭିତରେ କି ବାହାରେ ମୁଁ ଜମା ଜାଣିନି ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି ତମେ ଯିବ ନା ଆଉ
ଆରେ ସେ ପୁପୁଲକୁ ଡାକିଲା ଗୋଟେ କେମିତି ବାହାରିବ ବାହାରି